I hear people who have no background in this industry talking about the inverted yield curve. It's one of the most top Google searches along with recession. So like all of these things are coming to the forefront. So with the yield curve, help the viewers understand what that really means.
A yield curve inversion. Basically what that means in a normal, healthy environment, the US government can borrow money at a lower rate for a short-term time period than they could for a longer-term time period. Very simple. If you're going to loan the government money for 3 months, you demand 1%. If you're going to loan them money for 10 years, you demand more. And that's healthy. So a yield curve inversion is when shorter-term bonds actually have a higher interest rate than longer-term bonds. And the reason why it gets so much press and it gets searched and is because that's called the smartest economist in the room. So yield curve inversions have happened prior to every economic recession in the US since World War II. So that's why it's called the smartest economist in the room.
But what does it mean for the average person when the yield curve inverts?
It gives a decent lead on things like housing prices, the credit cycle, things like that. So if the profitability of making a standard loan decreases because you're not lending at a much higher rate than you can borrow for, the initial response by most banks is, I need to engage in riskier loans. Mm-hmm. So, I can't extend loans to high quality credit-worthy borrowers. I need to extend them to subprime borrowers, less credit-worthy borrowers to get a higher yield. And so what you see is more risk-taking on the part of lenders.
Correct.
Would you say we believe in the yield curve or we have yield curve denial?
I would say that really this time there are other factors that aren't quite obvious to history in the yield curve that would say that perhaps we don't believe what the yield curve is telling.